nearly everything to offer the outdoor traveler. From its secluded camping spots, scenic hikes, amazing wildlife, and of course, fishing. Lots and lots of fish. My name is Nathan Wells, and I'm taking you on a journey with me through Alaska to give you a glimpse of what working in the fishing industry is all about during the busy summer months. We start off our journey in Naknek, Alaska, 300 miles southwest of Anchorage, in the heart of Bristol Bay. The beginning of the season is very calm, but day by day, tide by tide, fishermen arrive to gather supplies and get ready to embark on their 8-week journey ahead. These are gill netters. They are fishing vessels specifically designed to catch sockeye salmon, but they max out at 32 feet long, making the process a little bit more difficult. These are tenders. They are boats ranging from 80 to 120 feet long that transfer fish from fishermen to the cannery. These tenders then transfer the fish in these huge tanks that are designed to hold 100 to 500,000 pounds of salmon at a time. The cannery then uses these 2 industrial-sized pumps and a 4-person day and night dock crew to suck the fish out of the tanks. Once the fish are off the boat, they get sent into a factory where they get cleaned, filleted, frozen, or canned, and shipped to various locations around the world. When our work was finished in Naknek, we flew directly to Anchorage and started our vacation. After cruising around Anchorage for a couple days, we met this cool family that showed us some of the hidden gems Anchorage has to offer. And we learned some unique dance moves. We eventually bought our car and started our journey down to Kodiak Island. We drove through Turnagain's Arm, through the Kenai Peninsula. We hit sunset after sunset after sunset, all the way down to Homer. When we got to Homer, we soon realized there wasn't much to do in Homer. There's just the marina and drunk fishermen. But if you're lucky, you can catch some sweet waves here. Our next stop, Kodiak Island. Kodiak is an island on the southern tip of Alaska, and you can only get there by either boat or plane. This is where most of the established fishermen live, so we wanted to see what it was all about. When we arrived in Kodiak, we made friends with some of the locals and got jobs working on a tender. Our job was to collect fish from seiners. Seining is a different type of salmon fishing than gill netting, in that seiners use a giant crane and a small boat to catch all types of salmon, not just sockeye. The tender then uses a large pump and a sorting table to sort through the salmon. Once the salmon are weighed, we then use a lever to send them down into a tank. Pretty awesome, right? But with all this fresh salmon on board, there's bound to be some visitors. After our work on the boat was finished, we celebrated, got cleaned up, and ready for our journey to Seward. We made a deal with our captain to crane our van onto the boat, and away we went. Driving an 80-year-old wooden boat across the Gulf of Alaska for 2 straight days is quite the journey, especially during the middle of the night with only a radar and some faint northern lights to guide you. After our 2-day journey from Kodiak to Seward, we were a little bit anxious to get off the boat, so we went for a hike up this mountain. After our 10-mile hike up to the Harding ice field, we then took a walk off the beaten path onto the glacier. After exploring the peak of the glacier, we decided to blaze our own trail back down around the mountain, not knowing what was in store for us. But we made it out all right. After 130 days in Alaska, I left with a newfound respect for fishermen and the fishing industry. I've seen a side of Alaska I never thought I would. The stories of Alaska are things you don't hear about too often. But when you see them for yourself, it's something you remember for the rest of your life.